Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Football Blitz here on a Friday night as we get ready to get to some coaches and maybe some players tonight here on the September 12th, week 4 of the high school football season. Let's run through some of the scores from tonight. So, interesting games, no doubt about it. Berwick beats Hazleton area 48-6. You got Hanover area take care of Old Forge 40-0. Delaware Valley goes down to Scranton Prep 49-44. They had a lead in that, and that one went the other way. Taconic took care of Nanticoke 42-6. It was Allentown Central Catholic over Pocono Mountain 30-3. You had Troy beating Athens 51-35. Southern all over Mount Carmel 49-16. Shamokin gets the job done. I think that one was 43-42 in 2 overtimes. Abingtonites dominant over Valley View 45-7. I believe it was Trail just edging out Dunmore tonight. North Pocono domination of Wallenpaupack. You had Dallas area coming up with the 24-21 win tonight at the Wolfpack. So 49-7 score. Looks like Riverside handled the Lake Lehman Black Knights. Still working on a score or two, but it was 30-28, the score I'm finding here for Dunmore and Lackawanna Trail. So Lackawanna Trail getting the job done against the Dunmore Bucks. Mid-Valley 42-21, and then how about Wyoming area? I think they were down maybe a couple times. And then they end up getting the job done 38-14 against Lakeland. Crestwood, they get the job done tonight as well. Take to the road and go to Western Wayne and get the win. So nice job by the Comets. And again, just trying to work through some of these scores tonight here on the Football Blitz. Appreciate you joining us. And again, there's a couple coaches efforting and on their way home. And we're gonna just try to be as patient as we can until maybe some of these coaches we're able to get on. So those are some of the scores that we have for you so far tonight. I don't know, many surprises. I figured that Shamokin Jersey Shore game would be a banger, and it was. Went right down again to the end. So, I guess what you expected there with those two top quality programs. Dallas beating Wilkes-Barre, I wouldn't say I was shocked by any means. I figured it would be a close game. It was just a matter of who could do what. And, just so happened that it went the way of Dallas. They took a 2-touchdown lead. Wilkes-Barre came back, and then, it was kind of the way it went. Crestwood all over Western Wayne tonight. I'm sure they're on the long bus ride back from Western Wayne, so that's a heck of a trip. But always a little bit nicer when you get the victory, that's for sure. Looks like, I'm seeing Holy Redeemer beating Susquehanna 27-20. Not 100% sure on that, but that's the way that one looks. So there's a couple of your scores from tonight. We'll take a quick timeout here. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little football coming up with one of our coaches. We'll be right back.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Battaglia Sporting Goods, your hometown sporting goods store since 1975. Contact us for your team sports needs, including all kinds of sports equipment, as well as screen printing and embroidery. We carry most major brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Physical Therapy Associates of Northeastern Pennsylvania, your go-to top-notch care with 3 convenient locations in Old Forge, Hamlin, and Archbald. These pros deliver skilled one-on-one sessions to help you get back in the game faster. Ready to bounce back strong? Give Physical Therapy Associates a call. 570-209-9800.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with a fresh cut from Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant. We specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, Our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team, Guys Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit at Guys Barbershop in Oliphant.
Coach Lon Hazlett with us from Coaches Health and Fitness. Coach, I got to ask you this question. Parents are out there, young athletes, they need advice. What would you say in regards to improving the athleticism and the fitness of their son or their daughter?
Number one, find somebody you can trust, and I don't mean that's us. We do, but find somebody who is reputable with kids. Okay, somebody that's spent time with young kids, and then find somebody that's a teacher. And I don't mean a teacher as in a school teacher, but somebody that's going to teach them the proper way to lift, proper spotting form. I work with a lot of young kids. I've got probably 7 or 8 kids right now. They're middle school aged, and we started off squatting broomsticks and power cleaning, light bars, and getting form down in the form of safety. And the second thing that you see a lot of success is a lot of young kids don't eat right. And I never tell a young kid put them on a diet per se, but if we can cut a little bit of sweets out of there and a little bit of ordinary sugar, and we can get the kid eating some vegetables and some lean protein, it's amazing what will happen with their body at that time. But we focus on form, we focus on safety, we try and teach them the right way to do things before we worry about how much weight we're putting on the bar, and build a good base that's something that they can continue to do the rest of their life.
Great tip from Coaches Health and Fitness from Lon Hazlett.
Okay, we're back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Let's welcome in the head football coach of Mid-Valley, Stan Yanofsky. Stan, get another win tonight against Holmesdale, team that maybe could have been a little bit dangerous coming in. I thought, you never know what you're going to get there with a new coach and new coordinators on both sides of the football. But you guys were able to get the job done.
Yeah, we started out slow. They hit a big play. We actually told them they were going to try and go long the first play. They did. Got, they're high school kids. They got beat. So we were down 7-0 like within 18 seconds. Took the ball, moved right down the field. Second quarter, we kind of bogged down a little bit, went into halftime, tied up, and then second half challenged the kids and just came out and really executed in the second half.
Let's talk about, trying to put together a couple of wins. The season didn't start off, again, as you would like, or the kids would like for that matter. But, that's the way life goes sometimes too, where, you got to lick your wounds and find a way to battle back. Talk about these kids responding.
Yeah, we started with Pittston and Berwick, 2 really good programs, from last year, a big turnaround for both of them. So we really didn't know how good or bad we were at that point. We were thinking, jeepers, you're thinking doom and gloom. But then, challenged the kids, and they really came out, played well last week. Old Forge is battling some injuries, and Holmesdale's really young. So we came out and, we tell good teams do what they're supposed to do in games that, maybe you're favored to win or whatnot.
Well, we don't want to look too far ahead, but next week you got a big challenge. Let's talk more about today's efforts and, what you're getting from your playmakers there at Mid-Valley.
Yeah, the good thing is we got a couple a lot of different weapons that we can go to. Mason Vanansky's taken over for Jacob Lesher, Times Tribune Athlete of the Year, and doing a great job. And, he's a big track sprinter, so he's decisively fast. My son is spreading the ball around to multiple receivers. We have a freshman, Nick Harishnak, that has really stepped up and had some big plays today, had a touchdown and a real long completion on a rocket screen. We hit our tight ends. We have multiple guys that we can go to. So we're real happy the way we're getting production from a lot of guys.
Let's talk about up front, what was it like against the, Holmesdale team that brought a little different twist there, offensively? How did you guys handle that defensively?
Dennis Rishnak's our D coordinator, so he came up with the scheme. You have to kind of load the box against that wing T because of just the nature of the offense. So, they did hit us with some passes. It was hard to get somebody to the flats. Some things that we got to fix for next week because Lackawanna Trail, as you said, very good at what they do. probably the best in the area at running that. Maybe Southern Columbia, I don't know, but so we have a big challenge, and kids have to be fundamentally sound on defense with that offense.
Again, Lackawanna Trail looks like they edged out Dunmore tonight by a couple of points there. Steve Jervis has done a very good job. He's been very steady at Lackawanna Trail. How do you think you'll approach this week? Obviously, you're going to soak up everything you could tonight. When you do get a win, you got to savor those. But it'll be a grind this week, I'm sure, at practice, and you guys will hone in and focus in on what the Lions do.
Yeah, the good thing is that playing the same offense 2 weeks in a row, our scout team actually has a little practice at it. I actually ran scout team quarterback because I've been with the wing tee for 30 some years, back when Coach Petrucci ran it way back. So I was actually running scout team quarterback just to get it to go a little quicker. So our kids are going to give us a little better look in practice, but it's really hard to simulate what Trail does and how they block it.
How are the hamstrings and the Achilles for you, Coach?
I'm fine. All
right. I got to make sure we're getting a little older, right?
Yes,
But Coach, congratulations on the win against Honesdale with you and your kids there. And the Spartans hoping to go into Lackawanna Trail with a little bit of momentum. We hope you have a good weekend with your family.
All right, thank you.
Okay, head coach of Mid-Valley, Stan Yanowski. We'll be right back.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Alberigi Insurance. Alberigi Insurance Agency proudly services all your insurance needs for over 60 years. Located at 301 Church Street in Jessup. Call us today for a no-obligation quote for home, auto, recreational vehicles, boats, and business insurance. The Alberigi Insurance Agency, 570-489-6348. Tim Wagner's Sports Corner, your spot for all your MLB, NFL, and NCAA clothing and accessory needs. Come see what Tim carries for every Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees and Giants, Philadelphia Phillies, Eagles, Notre Dame, and Syracuse fan, to name a few. Tim Wagner's also specializes in all your screen printing and embroidery needs. If you're on Sanderson Street in Scranton, you'll need to stop and shop at Tim Wagner's Sports Corner.
Fiorelli and Associates, LLC, is a local public accounting firm offering full-service individual and business income tax preparation and general accounting services, including compilations, reviews, and audits. Contact Michael T. Fiorelli, CPA, at 570-383-0782 for any of your individual business income tax or accounting needs. Fiorelli and Associates, Michael T. Fiorelli, CPA.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by the Maddock Agency. Since 1972, the Maddock Agency has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania for home, auto, and life. The Maddock Agency prides itself on being an independently owned agency. When you need help, you could talk with a staff member who lives and works right here in Northeast PA. The Maddock Agency has stayed true to its local, loyal roots. That's what our company was founded on more than 50 years ago. Call Dave Maddock and his team today. 570-586-3790. Use Savage Chiropractic. Takes pride in always doing a full evaluation on all patients, including x-rays, to evaluate patients to keep them safe and to determine the best care for their specific needs. Then they use modern techniques to get patients better, faster, and keep them feeling great with maintenance care options after they're pain-free. Along with chiropractic care, they are one of the only offices here in Northeast PA that offers both Class 4 cold laser to speed up the healing process and massage therapy and bodywork to aid in muscle repair and rehabilitation. And Northeast Outdoor Services, a locally run and operated company who offers a wide range of services but specializes in all forms of hardscape, concrete work, along with fiberglass pools and spas. Check us out on Facebook or visit our website at northeastoutdoorservices.com. Northeast Outdoor Services.
Back here on the Friday night football blitz, let's welcome in the Hanover area football coach Eric Richardson. Coach, always nice when you get a win. Feels even better when you're at home. And with all the things going on in Hanover at that traditional stadium, talk a little bit about getting the win against Old Fortune.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. Big win for us. So this is our first home win. Like you said, we were shut down last year. So we won our first game in 2022 here, and we haven't won since. So for our community and our school district and our student body to get a home win, it's a great feeling. It's something to build off. Exciting stuff are happening over here with the Hawkeyes. And we talked about last week about being young and making young team mistakes, and we really, really improved today on those mistakes we've been making. So it's exciting. It's exciting. Home win, like you said, a historic stadium like this, getting the community back and rooting on the Hawkeyes and coming here with a win. It's good all around and good for everybody that's involved.
You said the community getting involved. Talk a little bit about the support tonight and what the crowd was like at Hanover.
Yeah, so it's probably one of the biggest crowds we had. We dedicated our new training room to one of our old longtime trainers, Unk Bresna. So we had some alumni back here tonight. It was a great opportunity to put the win and get them and get a Hawkeye feeling and back to the family. I had Steve Bresna, which was a coach here and a player back in the 70s, and he played for Penn State. He got to talk to the team for a couple of minutes before the game. Another alumni came in and got to talk to the team. So we got that Hawkeye pride and that Hawkeye tradition so our players can see what this team means to the community.
Means something extra for you and your family because you have 3 sons, triplets, playing on that team.
Yeah.
I'm sure the meals taste a little better at night when you go home, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll still talk about some stuff, that we need to clean up on. But this is a back-to-back shutout. There's a lot of things that are happening here in Hanover. Like I mentioned, it's our first win at home in 3 years. It's our first time back-to-back shutouts, and I don't know how long. Last week was our first shutout in 11 years. It's the first time we won back-to-back games in 6 years. And here's a little cool stat, and I want to get this out there. We had another pick six today. That's 4 pick sixes in every game, all by freshmen. A freshman has caught every one of those and returned it back. That's cool. That's cool. And that just shows you how young we are. Yeah, that's probably a record too here, Hannah. That one's tough to research. But good things are happening. We took advantage of when we have to take advantage. I'm sorry, I have a little cold. But we have a tough opponent coming in here next, so we're gonna celebrate here for a little bit. But we got to get back to the grindstone a little, real fast, and clean up the mistakes we've been making.
How about guys that maybe are flying a little bit under the radar there for the Hawkeyes? Who's stepping up, for you guys in these last couple wins?
Yeah, well, again, it goes back to younger players that may not be on the radar just yet. So Darwin Downey, he's a freshman. Angel Tejada, he's a freshman. Those guys, they're making plays during the games that are really helping us at key moments. But our front line, I've been calling them hogs. They're the Hawkeye hogs. I give them special treatment here. We have family dinners or team dinners every week. They're always the first one in line. But you want to go across, and you got John Bone and Matt Curry and Alamine and Jackson Yancey, Uriah Rivas. He's another freshman. Jose Mercado. I mean, we have a lot of kids that are stepping up and playing young. I mean, they're young players, but they're finding a way to contribute to wins, contribute to good plays, and it's all about family. And these guys are really buying into the team mentality. We really are.
You talk a little bit about, looking ahead. Let's talk about next week for Hanover area. What do you have on the schedule?
Yeah, so no doubt. I mean, Berwick's tough. Coach Curry's doing a great job up there. They're big up front. They got speed. They have a freshman quarterback that runs fast, and then they got Wilkinson. I mean, he's one of the best rushers in the I guess what I say, state. We know what they're going to do when they come here. They're going to be walking in here, and they're going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to run the ball a lot. They kind of know who we are too. That's going to be our fiercest opponent so far. We had a tough game against Riverside earlier in the year, and even Marion Catholic. I mean, I don't know if they won tonight, but they're 3-0. They were 3-0. So I want to say up to date, but here's what's exciting. We're 2-2, and we're in a position that we haven't been in a long time. We are hosting a very good team, coming off 2 good wins. We're building a culture, and that's what I talked about since the beginning of the year is building that culture. Not so much the wins, but having the winning habits to build the culture so the wins start stacking. We stacked 2 wins here. It's good momentum. I'd rather be facing Berwick 2-2 than 0-4. So we're going to take that, whatever momentum we have. We're going to come here. We're going to fight. I don't know what the scoreboard is going to say next Friday night, but I will say that we are going to fight.
Yeah, and Berwick really took it to Hazleton area, and they've been everybody. And Coach Curry's doing a heck of a job. Yep. People thought, well, okay, Berwick thinks they're going to be pretty good, but when it comes down to it, how good really are they? But they've met every test. And
you saw it last year. So last year they were 0-4 when they faced us, and we were 0-4. And they handed it to us last year. They handed it to us. And that really turned. You saw the change happening up there in Berwick on our game. They went on a little run there, got in the playoffs. They had a tough playoff loss, but they fought there. And then they're coming into this season as expected. I expect them to be tough after last year. but yeah, they last year just so happens they started turning the tide started turning against us last year. But again, it's Berwick. They got a culture in place. They have a historic history up there, and Coach Curry's doing a great job. And they have the guys that are committed to win. And he said like tonight, facing a 6A school like Hazelton, and they really haven't had a close game. I mean, Berwick's been coming in and taking care of business. So yeah, we're gonna be starting tomorrow. I'll be starting scouting tomorrow.
Marian Catholic did win tonight against Shendo. So,
There you go. Okay. How about
well,
Riverside? They win.
Riverside beat Lehman tonight, too.
Okay, so there you go. Okay, so you look at our opponents that we did lose to are combined 7-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we fought those games, so it's exciting. It's exciting. My kids understand what the position they're in, and seeing their faces. I mean, again, the taste of victory is addicting. So
Monster test next week against Berwick, Coach, but soak it up this weekend with the family and enjoy, all right?
thanks, Blake. Great. Thanks for having me, John.
You got it, Eric.
I'll
All
see
right.
you. Thank
Take
you.
a break. We'll be right back.
In 1946, attorney Joseph Saporito returned from World War II and started his law practice. 79 years later, his legacy lives on. Attorney Sam Falcone, Bill Watt, Mara Armazzani, and Joseph Saporito III have continued with the same principles: honest work, dedication to their clients, and a proven record of courtroom success. Saporito, Falcone, and Watt, a general law practice serving all your legal needs. Check them out online at falconewattlaw.com or call 570-654-4643. Saporito, Falcone, and Watt, 48 South Main Street, Pittston. Securities.
All right, we're back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz as we welcome in Mark Persing with us from Schmokin. He's got a friend right next to him. It's the guy we've been talking about for a couple of weeks, I think. Mark, big win tonight against Jersey Shore. It looked like it was probably the best game of the night.
Yeah, we dug ourselves a hole in the first half, clawed out of it in the second half, double overtime. We were content with going to a third overtime, and they called a timeout. And I realized that this game has, home field advantage, implications to it. And I looked at this guy right here. I looked at Zakim Clinton, our running back. I looked at Logan Steele. I said, what do you want to do? And it was a unanimous, let's end it. So when you're three studs, you don't want the ball, and they want to end the game. That's what we do.
And that guy next to you, that's Isaac Glover.
Yes, it is.
And Isaac Glover is a senior, wears number 57. I love the picture on Max Preps because he just stands out. Those guys next to him, he is one large man. Isaac, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Well, everything we hear about you is all positive stuff. You could throw 70 yards. You're a heck of a pitcher. You could do calisthenics and flips and different crazy things at your height and weight. You got a great contagious smile, as you can see. Talk a little bit about being you. What's it like to be the quote-unquote big guy that people probably refer to you as?
I love it. A lot of teams, they'll line up against me, ask me my weight, my height, and everything. I tell them, and everybody that I tell is so surprised that I weigh 405 pounds.
Talk about just being athletic and being able to do the things that you do at your weight.
Yeah, I've been big all my life. In Little League, I was always the big kid. I was always the more athletic kid on the field. And I just carried on and carried it on up.
Talk about keeping that confidence and just being able to be athletic again. You said you were always the bigger kid, but how did you develop that athleticism? Did you just were you always out in the yard playing or going to the playground or just staying active?
I was always football is a big thing around our area. All the little kids from the neighborhood would always get a big game of football going almost every night until the lights kicked on and we had to be in. And
Played basketball.
Played basketball too, for our city league, and I played for our school junior high team. And we have an amazing strength and conditioning coach, Sagan Millard. He works with us very well.
Talk a little bit about your family. Who are those important people in your life that, help you along or always rooting for you?
My coaches, I look up to them, and Shauna and Bob Whitmer, my teammates' parents, they took me in as they're my legal guardians. Uh,
How
yeah.
about as far as those friendships you made at Jamokin and, obviously, hanging with that family and learning different ways of life and what that experience has been like for you and just seeing all these people in Jamokin bleed the purple and the white. I'm sure it's pretty contagious. You're like, man, this is what I dreamed about of, being in front of all these people. They're rooting for me every week, week in and week out.
Yep. Uh, Ever since Little League, we knew that. Hold on,
You had a
Joe.
good, you have a good group
You're
of
doing a
kids.
great job, man.
Yeah.
He's nervous,
He's
John.
doing
nervous.
fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah. But hey, on a serious note, he's a great kid. He's been the anchor of our offensive and defensive line for 3 years. He knows he has a future in college football, if that's what he chooses to do. But we're just going to continue to, guide and help him with his decisions and continue to support him with whatever he wants to do.
Isaac Glover, 6'2". He's 400 pounds at Jamokin for head coach Mark Persing. Isaac, talk about the guys that made plays tonight. And, it was a nerve-wracking game, 43-42, 2 overtimes. Who were the guys that stepped up for you guys?
I'd say everybody stepped up. We came into the locker room knowing that we had to keep our heads up and go out there and score. When we received the ball to start the half, and Bicker had an awesome kick return for a touchdown. Zakem, he's a big kid. He runs with his heart. He runs heavy. He runs hard. He's fast. He's amazing. Logan Steele, doing what he does out there, running back and forth, playing safety, playing quarterback. Sometimes he'll go out to wide receiver. He's amazing. And our line, I love our line deep down in my heart.
It's in Harlem.
Yeah.
Simple.
How about as far as getting tired? Do you get tired, Isaac?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I do get tired sometimes. There's plays where I don't give it my all. And then I'd say that's 75% of the game. I'd give it up my all. And 25, I take a little rest some here and there. I don't fire off the ball as quick, but I still do my assignment.
You're still a force, I'm sure, out there. Mark Persing, talk a little bit about, just he seems like the nicest kid in the world. Does he have a streak in him that, when he gets mad or it gets physical, it's kind of lights out on the other side there?
He's the type of lineman that every coach dreams to have. You see the smile. It's infectious. It's contagious. But man, when he puts his helmet on, he flips that switch into a different kid. And there's times where I feel bad for the kid or two kids across from him because he manhandles them. There's times where the opposing offense has to send 3 guys at him because of his size. And he does his best to fight it off. But he believes in his heart of hearts that there's not a single lineman, that can block him when he's at nose. So as long as he continues to do what he has been for 3 years, and clog both A gaps up for us, it frees us up to do some things on the back end because of it. So he's an integral part of our success. He's going to remain an integral part of our success. And he knows what he means to this football team.
Talking with Isaac Glover, a senior, 6'2", 400 pounds, and Mark Persing, the head football coach at Shamokin. They win tonight, 43-42, 2 overtimes. And we're kind of on the Shamokin bandwagon. We love talking about you and covering you guys, even though, you're kind of down there a little bit, but this is just great. Coach, getting back about Isaac, how about leadership qualities? What does he bring leadership-wise? Is he a guy that, gets after guys, or everything he does, it's just respected by his teammates?
With his size, and strength and stature on this team and the program and the community, he says something and the kids listen. If he wants to, I don't know if coaching's in his future, but he's an unbelievable football mind. When it comes to offensive line play, he understands things at a different level. And he's been able to absorb everything that Coach Mark Burrows has taught him for 3 years. And we joke about it that he can probably go down and either run the offense or run his own individual period with the younger guys. And I think the results would be the same.
Isaac, let's get one more question in for you. And, as far as in the school, is there a teacher? You mentioned the coaches are important to you. Is there some teachers or a guidance counselor or administrator, somebody in that building or has been in your life that is kind of kept encouraging you and stayed after you and kind of make sure and they check in with you on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's pretty even all around throughout the whole school staff. They all show support. They love us. They'll do anything for us. Going up through elementary, it was always Miss Kelly and Miss James, Miss Bugner, all that, and all the way through up junior high, Miss M. Persing as a teacher.
He was a pain in the butt in 7th grade in homeroom. He was a pain in the butt.
I love it. All right. Well, hey, Isaac, all the best in your future. I appreciate you taking some time and joining us. I thought you did a fantastic job tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure. Mark Persing, congratulations on the monster win against Jersey Shore. 43-42, mean machine, 2 overtimes. Way to go. And we'll take a break. You guys enjoy the weekend.
See you, John. Thanks for having us.
All right. We'll be back.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Battaglia Sporting Goods, your hometown sporting goods store since 1975. Contact us for your team sports needs, including all kinds of sports equipment, as well as screen printing and embroidery. We carry most major brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Physical Therapy Associates of Northeastern Pennsylvania, your go-to top-notch care with 3 convenient locations in Old Forge, Hamlin, and Archbald. These pros deliver skilled one-on-one sessions to help you get back in the game faster. Ready to bounce back strong? Give Physical Therapy Associates a call. 570-209-9800.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with a fresh cut from Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant. We specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team, Guy's Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit at Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant.
Coach Lon Hazlett with us from Coaches Health and Fitness. Coach, I got to ask you this question. Parents are out there, young athletes, they need advice. What would you say in regards to improving the athleticism and the fitness of their son or their daughter?
Number one, find somebody you can trust, and I don't mean that's us. We do, but find somebody who is reputable with kids. Okay, somebody that's spent time with young kids, and then find somebody that's a teacher. And I don't mean a teacher as in a school teacher, but somebody that's going to teach them the proper way to lift, proper spotting form. I work with a lot of young kids. I've got probably 7 or 8 kids right now that are middle school aged, and we started off squatting broomsticks and power cleaning, light bars, and getting form down in the form of safety. And the second thing that you see a lot of success is a lot of young kids don't eat right. And I never tell a young kid put them on a diet per se, but if we can cut a little bit of sweets out of there and a little bit of ordinary sugar, and we can get the kid eating some vegetables and some lean protein, it's amazing what will happen with their body at that time. But we focus on form, we focus on safety, we try and teach them the right way to do things before we worry about how much weight we're putting on the bar, and build a good base that's something that they can continue to do the rest of their life.
Great tip from Coaches Health and Fitness from Lon Hazlett.
All right, we're back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. John Mendola with you. Appreciate you joining us tonight. And, what a great story with Mark Persing and, Smoking Indians. And how about that young man, Isaac Glover, 6'2", 400 pounds. He seems like the nicest kid in the world, but, man, he can be dominant. And, it just seems like it's a family effort there at Shamokin with everybody rallying around Isaac and, helping him in any way they can. And, I love the comments that Persing said that, listen, he's going to be a coach. I think there's some coaching in his future. And he was actually a little bit nervous about doing the interview, but I thought he did an excellent job. And somehow Shamokin finds a way to get those jobs done. The big game, 43-42 against Jersey Shore. Let's welcome in Greg Dolan, the football coach of North Pocono. Greg, on the move there, busy guy. Glad you had a couple minutes to join us tonight. Let's talk about Wall and Paupack and the victory you guys got.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you for having me. I'm in and out here. We're outside sitting at a place in North Pocono having food with the staff and everybody. It's really nice. We get together after the game's a fun thing to do. Yeah, I'll tell you, I want to give a lot of credit to Matt Naraki, a former North Pocono player, played for us. My first couple teams, Matt, he's on that team. He's doing a great job. They're very physical. They got good backs. Tonight on the second half, things went our way a little bit with field position. We were able to pull away, but 10-6 at half. Great football game early on, and they were physical and they run the ball. And he calls a really nice game as the head coach. So good win for us. Good win. I think anytime they test your will, I think it's a great night. So we're lucky to escape with a good win tonight. I'm very proud of our kids, and a lot of work to do. I think that's the good part about us. We have a lot of rungs to climb, and we got to get so much better. And we better do it quick in the next 5 days because that team in Abington Heights is a heck of a football team. But we're excited for the journey, and we're excited for that challenge on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, they really took it to Valley View, Abington Heights. What do you know about the Comets? Before you don't know what happened tonight, obviously with film, but what have you seen early with Abington Heights?
Yeah, I went to the game last week, and I saw them play against Dallas, and another team that we have the week after. And obviously their quarterback he's special. He's a special kid. Their tailback's good. Tailback, big tight end, physical. The wideout is carrying on that tradition of the great wideouts that Abington has had. So they're a handful, and they're well coached. Obviously, Joe Repshis is a great football coach, and Greg Justavia calls the offense, and Arcuri calls them the defense for them. They do a great job. So it's a very big challenge for us. We know that on Saturday, watching them play, we know we have to play really good football, and we got to clean up a lot of things we did today. I wasn't happy with myself either. I got to call a better game and put our kids in better spots. We overwhelmed them a little bit in spots, but I got to be better calling a game and getting the ball to all our athletes, and that's something that we'll work on very hard for next week.
We're going to talk a little bit shortly here with Josiah Gray, who is a nice player for you. Tell us a little bit about him before we do get to him. Oh, we lost him, so we're going to welcome in Josiah Gray right now. He gets to talk about himself. Welcome into the show.
Oh, thank you.
Well, congratulations on the victory. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you've been able to do with your squad this season.
We've been like just putting the work in since all summer, since last year really. We've been lifting, getting faster. A lot of us ran track. A lot of us threw to get stronger and stuff. And then we kind of built more of a connection as a team than we had last year. And we're still figuring out like what to do on like offense and defense and stuff, but we're figuring out.
Let's talk a little bit about the senior leadership on your squad. You're one of those guys, right? So talk a little bit about all these seniors and the efforts from everybody.
Yeah, we have a lot of seniors. We don't really have like a definite leader because all of the seniors like take leaderships in certain spots. We all have each other's backs. We all lift each other up. Like when we have down plays, we all fight. Like I had a fumble early in the season against Pittston, and all my teammates had my back, and we got the ball right back.
You guys have some good leadership with an Evan Wolf. Talk about what it's like to play with a kid like that who has some natural leadership qualities.
Oh, Evan makes my job so much easier. The way he's able to like just navigate the defense as he's all over the field playing every position we need him to play.
You also have some big linemen up front. So tell us a little about what it's like to play with Dylan Castor.
Oh, Dylan, he's like a big body in the middle, and like especially when he's blocking for us. When he's blocking and he gets his footwork and everything right, it's massive holes for me, Joe, and Jaden to run through.
But as far as other guys stepping up, I know you guys had some guys coming off injury. So what's that been like to try to get a little bit healthier?
It's been good for us. Like we've been able to get more guys in, get reps at practice and stuff like that for like subs and stuff. But getting those guys back off of injury, like Joe and Max, really helped give us more of a team dynamic and make us more explosive on the field.
Well, let's talk a little bit about tonight's game on the Pop Pack. Who are the guys you felt that played well for the Trojans tonight?
Seamus McGuire, Evan, obviously. Cole had that great pick at the and in the second half, and then I think we just stepped up as a whole on defense and on offense, especially the line.
As far as next week, Abington Heights, they really took it to Valley View tonight. So talk a little bit about what you think that matchup is going to be like. Have you personally seen Abington Heights play this year at all?
Not outside of a few clips, I haven't, but I know that Abington Heights is going to be a great matchup for our secondary, and especially our line, trying to stop that new run game that they have. And then I know Nick Bradley is going to be a challenge for our secondary in coverages.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your future, Josiah. What are you planning on? What's coming up next for you in your life? Do you have some thoughts about what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm planning going to business and trying to play football in college.
All right, and tell us about your family. Who's important in your life to you that helps you along the way?
My mom, my dad, they always take care of me. Even like when I try to push myself, they'll be like, "No, you can't," just so you could be able to play. Especially like when I'm hurt and stuff.
How about a traditional? You guys have a tradition there, like post game, where you guys go? Do you go somewhere? Do you kind of chill out, hang with the family? Depend what's going on.
It depends. Normally we go home, we just celebrate, and then on to the next day, on to the next game.
I like the focus. So it's what's next, and Abington Heights will be next week. All right, Josiah, thanks for your time today. I hope you have a good weekend with the family too. All right.
Thank you. You too.
All right,
have a good day.
Time out. We'll be back.
In 1946, attorney Joseph Saporito returned from World War II and started his law practice. 79 years later, his legacy lives on. Attorney Sam Falcone, Bill Watt, Mara Armazzani, and Joseph Saporito III have continued with the same principles: honest work, dedication to their clients, and a proven record of courtroom success. Saporito, Falcone, and Watt, a general law practice serving all your legal needs. Check them out online at falconewattlaw.com or call 570-654-4643. Saporito, Falcone, and Watt, 48 South Main Street, Pittston. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC. Strategic Planning Associates, LLC. Thomas J. Fiorelli, independent insurance and financial consultant. Big city expectations with small town personalized service and professional advice. Investments, insurance, and financial planning. Need financial guidance? Call Tom Fiorelli, Certified Financial Planner, at 570-650-4558. Offices located at 1548 Main Street, Peckville, Pennsylvania, 18452. Mesco Glass. Since the founding of our family business in 1930, Mesco Glass has served Northeast Pennsylvania as the area's leading full-service glass company. In those 94 years, we've expanded to 5 locations. Mesco knows glass, auto, home, and commercial. That's what we've done for 94 years. Call Mesco, 1-800-982-4055.
All right, we're back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. We're going to welcome in Rich Mendola, the head football coach from Dallas, and we're efforting here on the connection. And I think I see him, and he sees me, and hopefully he can hear me, and I hear him, and we're all good here. Coach?
Hey, let's go. How come you look like we look like
yeah,
we're in
you
a
sound
funny
all right there.
Yeah, you got me?
I got you. We all live in the sticks, and all of our connections are a little checky there. I just lost him. I had him, and I lost him. He'll come right back. I think he's efforting there and trying to get us hooked up. So he's got the JMU gear on, and Dallas came back and got the win tonight against the Wolfpack after they were able to tie it. So, all right, Coach, let's give this a shot, see if we can connect here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. How's that
It says
Wi-Fi signal there? A little
reconnecting. You got
reconnecting.
me?
I hear you. The lips are
It
moving a
says
little slow.
reconnecting.
Let's talk. Yeah, we keep losing them. Now, Greg Dolan had the same situation tonight with you get a tough cell signal, and it gets a little tough to kind of hang in there with some of our connections. Well, hey, 3 for a quarter. Why not? All right, Coach. Let's give this one more shot, huh?
You there?
I'm here.
You get a signal.
I can't see nothing out
No,
here.
you're right. No, you have no signal in there.
John, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, there you go. Let's talk about how you guys beat Wilkes-Barre tonight.
Well, the kids, it's just an incredible effort. 0-3. We've traveled this road before, and we talk about the process and all that, and that's easy to talk about to you guys. But when the kids got to walk in that clubhouse every day and grind it out, and they show up every day, and this past week, if you were up there and saw us, you swear we were 3-0, and it's not me, saying that just because everybody's feeling good after a good night, and a good win. These kids believe in the process. There's no shortcut through it. We don't talk about the youth and all that stuff. Nobody cares. It's all about the senior class. They don't have tomorrow. We got to win now. And, we found a way to win on the road, after, 3 tough games and, 3 great football teams that we played in the first 3 weeks. And you find out where your weaknesses are immediately. And, we're adjusting to the talent, and you got a new quarterback in there, and, what he can do. And he's learning every single day. And, there's a bunch of 10th graders running around there, and they're not 10th graders anymore. Put a freshman out there at tailback tonight, and he handled himself really well. And, there's really no ceiling there. But, this one's gone, and he's got to go in the weight room and continue to, represent that number 42 well that he's wearing.
Coach, Wilkes-Barre had some mistakes in the first half, and then they came back. They tie it up, but you guys were methodical getting downfield, and you were like, hey, we're going to kick this field goal. You always say special teams are important, and it turned out to be the difference maker. But you lost a kicker that was so good, but you got another one who could boot the ball, and he's pretty darn consistent.
Yeah, we've got 2 of them. Brandon kicked tonight, and David Worth. They're both in the same class, and they're on a soccer team. We got a great relationship with Coach Williams in soccer, and Brandon got named captain of the soccer team. And those guys are in the clubhouse all year long. You would think they were guards, and everybody, that makes a difference, because when the game comes down to, the last play like that, that whole sideline knows that those guys are invested. This isn't a hobby. It's not a part-time thing. They're with us 12 months a year. And, we talk about power cleans and special teams, right? We say that all the time. And, that's all part of what we're doing. But I just can't say how proud we are of all these kids, because this thing is hard. And to grind out and win, is hard. And, with the schedule that we play. And, just so proud of them. But, we'll enjoy this one for a little bit more longer, and then we're on to the next one. Pittston is loaded with seniors, and, they stopped that North Pocono run game pretty good. We got an eyeball on that film already, and they're stout. So we got to get back to work.
Wilkes-Barre was banged up, and you guys had a couple guys banged up. But, boy, that Geske to Geske combination, he was putting – as the kids say, he was throwing dimes. I mean, he was putting the ball right on the money.
Yeah, the banged up thing, everybody's banged up. It's football, right? We lost the starting guard, was a sophomore. We put a sophomore in behind him, right? It's the way it is. It's high school football in northeastern Pennsylvania. Let's step up and play. And so those kids do that. They understand that. And, we told Talon, you're in the backyard there. Just go chuck it to your brother.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. That's for sure. Talk about guys up front, trying to make plays. When you guys ran out those white jerseys on for that first series, I'm like, man, these guys just look lean and young. But you said it's your strongest team you've had there at Dallas.
Yeah, and that club measurement that we use, you know all about that thing. We're strong, but, as Parcells has always said, at some point size wins. And we're starting to get bigger. but we're not there yet. You see at certain times during the game, we get leaned on, but then the conditioning kicks in like it did tonight, and our kids, we were not tired in that last drive, and we were going, and then the strength and the conditioning takes over. But we got to get bigger, and we got some guys that have potential there for size, and until that comes, you got to rely on conditioning and strength and execution, and we're just starting to get settled schematically on both sides of the ball. The special teams, we're locked in. That's always first. We've got those schematics down, and it's just a matter of getting better and better. But offensively and defensively, we're starting to settle into what our kids can do well. And you got to be able to master monotony, and that's where we are right now.
I know you're not a scoreboard watcher. Abington really took it to Valley View. Shamokin beat Jersey Shore in 2 overtimes tonight. But you guys have Pittston, as you said, next week. They scored 60-some points against Wyoming Valley West. I'm sure you saw LaPresto on film. He's an impressive player offensively.
Yeah, he makes plays. He's one of those guys, right? So we got to get that figured out. And, anytime he touches the ball, he can go to the house. And, I was really impressed with, when we got a first look at them, their size, they're thick, and they move well. They're strong. That's a good club. They jump out at you when you put that film on. So we got our hands full, as we do every week. That's the nature of Dallas football and the schedule that we have, and we welcome that schedule. Put them on, and we'll go play them.
As far as Geske kind of earning that quarterback job, it was a tight battle, but he looks like he's taking that step and throwing those long balls really well.
Yeah, the 3 guys, Brady McCann and Jimmy Youngblood, and they just handled the thing really well. And we got done with a 7-on-7, and we have open conversations, and sometimes they're not pleasant. And I said to the 2 guys that are starting on defense, McCann and Youngblood, they're doing a great job. And I said, we've got to get this figured out. And it's about the seniors and getting wins now. And, we came back from a 7-on-7 and, put talent in there and saw what he can do. And then we were trying to develop that as we went through the summer. And, quite honestly, when you're repping 3 guys, that gets a little bit difficult. And then, we went down to Jersey Shore, and no fault to Brady McCann. He did everything he could. And I just, you talk about just a great young man. First one in, last one out, says goodnight every night. He's just one of those guys. He's going to be great at whatever he decides to do. He's running the whole secondary right now. And, talent just has an ability, to plant his foot, get the ball out, and we decided at halftime at Jersey Shore, we were going to let Talon go. And, he went down on the first drive, drove us down and scored. And, it's been, trying to get, what he's comfortable with. And he's a sponge, and he has a short memory. When something goes sideways, we talk about it when he comes off the field, and then he's on to the next drive. You look at how that thing started against Abington Heights last week. That was on its way to mercy rule at halftime. Let's get that straight. And these kids put their cleats in the ground. They started making plays, and, he was unflappable during all of it. And, so you got to build on that.
Well, Coach, you're building there. Big win against Wilkes-Barre area, the first one. Not easy starting out 0-3, but you found a way to get it done. Congratulations, and we appreciate you, and we hope you enjoy your weekend, all right?
Thanks, John. Can't get the 2 without 1. We appreciate it.
All right. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Battaglia Sporting Goods, your hometown sporting goods store since 1975. Contact us for your team sports needs, including all kinds of sports equipment, as well as screen printing and embroidery. We carry most major brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Physical Therapy Associates of Northeastern Pennsylvania, your go-to top-notch care with 3 convenient locations in Old Forge, Hamlin, and Archbald. These pros deliver skilled one-on-one sessions to help you get back in the game faster. Ready to bounce back strong? Give Physical Therapy Associates a call. 570-209-9800.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with a fresh cut from Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant. We specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team. Guys Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit at Guys Barbershop in Oliphant.
Coach Lon Hazlett with us from Coaches Health and Fitness. Coach, I got to ask you this question. Parents are out there, young athletes, they need advice. What would you say in regards to improving the athleticism and the fitness of their son or their daughter?
Number one, find somebody you can trust, and I don't mean that's us. We do, but find somebody who is reputable with kids. Okay, somebody that's spent time with young kids, and then find somebody that's a teacher. And I don't mean a teacher as in a school teacher, but somebody that's going to teach them the proper way to lift, proper spotting form. I work with a lot of young kids. I've got probably 7 or 8 kids right now that are middle school aged, and we started off squatting broomsticks and power cleaning, light bars, and getting form down in the form of safety. And the second thing that you see a lot of success is a lot of young kids don't eat right. And I never tell a young kid put them on a diet per se, but if we can cut a little bit of sweets out of there and a little bit of ordinary sugar, and we can get the kid eating some vegetables and some lean protein, it's amazing what will happen with their body at that time. But we focus on form, we focus on safety, we try and teach them the right way to do things before we worry about how much weight we're putting on the bar, and build a good base that's something that they can continue to do the rest of their life.
Great tip from Coaches Health and Fitness from Lon Hazlett.
All right, we're back here on the Football Blitz here on Friday night. I'll go through some of the scores again. It was Berwick over Hazleton, Wyoming Valley West fell to Pittston area, Hanover area shuts out Old Forge at home. Their first victory is, again, 2022. Coach Richardson said 4 different freshmen pick sixes. It's got to be a record of some kind for Hanover area this year. Scranton Prep came back, beat Delaware Valley. Crestwood dominant. Titanic dominant over Nanticoke. Holy Redeemer gets their first win against Susquehanna, so congratulations to them. Riverside all over Lehman. You had Mid-Valley over Honesdale. Allentown Central Catholic thumped Pocono Mountain. Pocono Mountain was 3-0. And North Schuylkill, they get thumped by Southern Lehigh, 34-14. Troy gets a win. You had Schmoken 43-42. Dunmore Falls to trail by a couple. Wyoming area came back to beat Lakeland 38-14. So there's some scores for you in Dallas. 24-21, as we heard from Rich Manello, and they found a way to get that done, Dallas, on the final drive with just a couple of seconds to go. So that'll do it here on the Friday night for the Friday Night Football Blitz. We'll see you again next week. Hey, next week, week 5 of the high school football season, the halfway point of the regular season. There's going to be a heck of some good matchups next week. Abington Heights and North Pocono, probably the one you want to circle. Pittston and Dallas, go at it. So a couple just to kind of peek at. But I hope you enjoy your family this weekend and appreciate you joining us